As you listen to her talk, they have like 15 people on staff. Okay? That's how many people they have. So if you listen to what she shares, you remember that. To partner with them on the left hand. On the right hand, our American Baptist men, which meets for breakfast the first Saturday of every month over Fellows can pay at 8 in the morning, you know, if I can come and ask them. That's the advertising. But they're providing flood buckets. We have 1,000 flood buckets coming here in Nebraska from Virginia. We've had 150 or so thereabouts run through our facility already. We got, well, it was 40 this morning when I came to church, and now it's up to, I think, 50-something. I texted the middle of the service, waiting for us in Omaha to take places. And it's crazy. So we've got the men's disaster group helping us on one side, and some of them were here yesterday. They come and do work projects, and they were immersed, and they were out, well, they didn't do it, but they went out to Clarence's, and they're going to come back with a trailer here and help people out here. They're still, and our American Baptist Men Disaster Group, they're still working on the treatment. They still go back. See, this is why I think this is neat. The neighbors group is No Town Left Behind. Well, see, we don't forget that. So I'm going to shut up. Kim, I want you to come and kind of tell us what we're doing. I've only told them a little bit. I've only told them we're helping some other places. I haven't explained anything much about what actually's come through.
Okay.
But this is Kim. I can't remember her last name because it's been too busy. And if you are interested or you want to share, I'm going to tell you, well, there's two things she won't mention publicly. One is, we're not a food bank, or a supply bank. And we got all sorts of stuff over there to help with anything we can get others. But anybody in the church, if you have a need for something, because of bringing it in, we can access it for you and help you. Better yet, if you know somebody that has a need, like that family we mentioned earlier, that had 25 people in the house, and they mentioned it earlier, we can help them too. But they don't come here, you come here. If I know what they need, you come here, we'll help you get it. And you can be the hands of Christ, take it to somebody who needs to know. So that's one of the side benefits for us in the church. I'll shut up. Anyway, no, talk to no, you may have some t-shirts that would say something about Nebraska is wrong on it. And the back has the name of the church and the name of the organization, and there has disaster relief. And it's going like $15 people to get them, and we can have them wear them around. And some language in the fun, and I'll shut up, go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly Goreham from No Town Left Behind. And I'm so excited, and please forgive me. I have Kleenex in my pocket because I think this is going to be an emotional one for me. We started in Hurricane Harvey. I spent my summers in Texas, and we saw that the storm was coming in, and I was worried. But I was making high six figures in my career. Is this going to fall off me? Does this sound okay, you guys? Okay. All right. I was making close to 6 figures a year, actually high 6 figures. And I was in church. I was, baseball mom. I was busy. And this storm hits, and a friend of mine says, I think that we're going to go down and we're going to serve down in Houston. I'm looking for money. So I thought, great, I'm going to get away with just giving money, and away we go. So I wrote him a check, and I said, so how are you going to spend this? He says, oh, I don't even know how I'm going to collect it yet. And I went, oh, well, I better jump in here, because I'm an organizer by nature. So I jumped in, and I said, all right, well, I can help you organize. And I actually went through the fires in Southern California. We were one of 2 houses on our street that didn't get burned out. So I've lived that disaster. And it was a long-term disaster that every time you thought that the fire was stopped, it would come around another way. So in the middle of the night, there was fire. 4 o'clock in the morning, God took me out of bed and had me look out the window. And there it was, a wall of flames as far as I could see. So we called, what do you do? What do you do when that happens? Call 911, right? So we called 911, and they said, you're on your own. There's fire in the entire county, and there's not much that we can do for you. So I said, oh boy, okay, well, what do we do? Get your kids, get your pets, and get out. I said, which direction do we go? We're on a 2-lane highway. It's up to you. Click. Uh-oh. So 45 minutes later, there was burning embers dropping out of the sky. And we had to get the blankets wet to put around the kids just so that we could get them into the car without burning them up. So we got them in the car, and we headed down the road, and we had to run over animals that were fleeing out of the forest. It was a nightmare. We thought we were going to die. And so I asked my children, please lay down in the back seat and sing some songs. Hold each other tight. We're going to make it. So we go flying through, and we break out of the smoke, and we made it. But just a few miles up the road, there was a family that jumped into a swimming pool, and they didn't. So it was a big deal because we went to an American Red Cross shelter, and I saw what was going on there, and I just went, oh, I think this is going to be a little more traumatic than what we just experienced, so I think we're going to go to my mom's house. But it was very, very hard because we had that survivor's guilt, they call it. You know, our house made it, but all of my children that they used to play with houses didn't. So our lives changed dramatically. It was never the same. But I was working in chiropractic, and I had a marketing business, and I've been in chiropractic for 30 years. And so, I just kind of let that experience go, and I started focusing on making money again. And I didn't really help my community at all. I'll tell you, I was too traumatized for it. So what happened was, oh, thank you. I'll probably need this at least 5 more times, you guys. This story, you're going to find out that how I am standing in front of you right now could be nothing short of 1,000 miracles. 1,000 miracles brought me here to you today. So fast forward, so I had the experience of the fires, and I had the experience of the Red Cross shelter, and I had the experience of the rebuild, and we lived in an ashtray basically for, a year until things started to grow back. But when Hurricane Harvey hit, and I saw that somebody was taking money in, I felt very much like I wanted to make sure that was going to go to the right place. So I jumped in and I kind of took charge, and he was just fine with that. So what we did is we started to set up chiropractic triage stations for the first responders, so that when they were pulling the people off the roofs in Hurricane Harvey, their shoulders would pop out, their hips would pop out, and then we could just get the chiropractors in there and get them back like Humpty Dumpty, put them back together, and get them back out rescuing people. So that's what we did. And it just so happened that one of the stations that we set up was at the police union building downtown Houston. And there was a chiropractor who was, Councilman Jack Christie was a retired chiropractor. And he'd been trying to get chiropractic in that building for years and never been successful. And he walks by and he sees all these chiropractors in the building. He goes, who did this? Who did this? And they said, uh-oh, she did it. And then pointed to me. I did it, okay. So he calls me, but he was happy. He was thrilled. And it just so happened, one more time, that he actually went to college, chiropractic college, with my mentor. So we immediately had a bond. Now, Billy Sticker was supposed to come and work with us at one of our chiropractic triage stations, and I'm on the phone with him, arranging, and he says, Kimberly, I don't think I'm going to be able to come out. My town is really bad. This was near Orange and Vidor, Texas. And he says, oh my gosh, the water! And then click, nothing. Billy. 24 hours goes by before I hear back from Billy Sticker. And he is yelling at me, don't hang up. Whatever you do, don't hang up. I'm like, I'm not hanging up. What's going on? He says, we are surrounded by water. There are 1,200 people here, and we are all needing supplies. We have veterans that are sitting in poopy diapers. We have babies sitting in poopy diapers. Everybody's hungry and hasn't eaten since 10 o'clock yesterday. And I went, what do you want me to do? He says, you're the last person that my phone rang and the only person my phone will dial. And I went, uh-oh, this is on me. Uh-oh. And so I mini panicked inside. And then for some real reason, I think God said, because it wasn't me, call me back in 4 hours and I'll have a solution for you. He hangs up, and I got on my knees and I prayed right then and there. Lord, Jesus, help me. Oh my gosh, 1,200 people. This is such a responsibility. What am I going to do? So there was only one person that I knew to call. Who do you think that was? Councilman Jack Christie from yesterday. The guy that said, hey, gal, if you ever want anything, you just let me know. I said, okay. He's the only one I can call. So I called Councilman Jack Christie. I told him what was going on. And he actually answered his phone on the first ring. A councilman going through Hurricane Harvey answers on the first ring. For me, who am I? I'm nobody. And he answered. And he said, what can I do for you, gal? I said, I have about 1,200 people that are surrounded by water, and they've got nothing. I told him the whole story. And he says, Matt Breuer, his chief of staff, you give Kimberly whatever the heck she wants. I'm like, oh boy. So he gets on the phone and he says, what do you need? I said, well, I told him the whole story. I said, we got 1,200 people from ages 0 to 99 and everywhere in between. They all need stuff. He says, all right, I can make that happen. About 15 minutes later, I get a call. He says, where do you want your truck to go? And I went, I had the address because I somehow pulled that out of Billy's sticker before I got off the phone with him. And I said, it needs to go here. He says, well, there's water there. I said, I know there's water there. We have to get through it. And he says, well, if I get you a fire truck escort, do you think you can do it? I'm in over my head here. A fire truck escort? I think we're going to need it. Okay. So they send a fire truck escort. So I got my first Walmart truck. There was about 40 pallets in there, and something of that magnitude and scope and size is probably worth about $50,000. And he gave it to me. How? Why? Does that even make sense? So guess what? We got the fire truck escort. It took about 4 hours, but we got the truck through. And I didn't get the message for some hours. You know, I didn't get the message for a little while that they made it. But when they got back, the truck driver called me and said, Miss Kimberly, if you think that town is bad, you should see the next one. And I just thought, oh my. He says, can we do that again? I said, you want me to do it again? I can ask. I mean, that's the only thing I can do. I can ask. So I called Jack Christie again, and he picks up, he says, yeah, gal, did you make it? I said, we did, and we need another one. Can I have another one, please? Matt Breuer, you get Kimberly Goreham whatever she wants. I got a second Walmart truck, and we put it in the next town. And it just, we're actually getting an award. We're getting a proclamation from the city of Houston on April 16th, this next month, for our work that we did in Harvey. Because what happened was, the truck driver that helped us get through, he was committed, man. After he saw all of those people that were excited about the stuff, he says, I'll go anywhere you want to go. Get me another truck. Get me another truck. So then we figured out that we had to get those supplies, like you guys have right now, all this water around you. We had to get those supplies through. And the only people that could do it were the local people. You guys. You know the back roads. You know your neighbors. You know the needs. And you can communicate that with someone that can get you Walmart trucks. So that's what happened. And then what happened out of that was the Good Old Boys Brigade. I started to lovingly call them the Good Old Boys Brigade because they had horse trailers and trucks that could get over stuff, and they had boats that we could use to get the supplies across. So we started out and all of this is happening at the speed of drinking from a fire hose. So, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I just kept going, and so everybody else did. So the Good Old Boys Brigade, they put stuff in the boats. They would swim the boats across or drive the boats across, unload the supplies, put the elderly, we did elderly and moms with sick kids first, put those people back in the boats, we got them across. So now we're doing rescues as a byproduct of putting supplies out. So we start doing these rescues, and oh gosh, it quickly escalated from there because we're out there and these towns are so desperate. There was this one town that had 4 people that needed kidney dialysis. And so I get that message. There's 4 people that need kidney dialysis, and they're on a rooftop of a hospital that they were just evacuated to, but they forgot to bring the dialysis tech. So now those 4 people and their families are sitting there waiting to die. And I had to try to get a kidney dialysis person and a machine because their machine was broken too. And so how did I do it? I put it on social media. That's all I knew. I don't know kidney dialysis stuff. So I put it out on social media. We're looking for kidney dialysis equipment or a tech or both. And there's 4 people that have 4 hours to live. We need to move. So it just so happened that one of the chiropractic triage stations that we set up was at an emergency clinic, Altis Emergency. And they knew medevac people that could fly the helicopters in to pick those people off the roof and get them to a hospital. It just so happens. And they survived. What if I would have shrunk back from that first call? I can't do this so well. Who am I? I'm just a nobody. And it's true, I'm still just a nobody. But guess who's a somebody? All I got to do is know this guy. That's it. And he does the rest. And I happen to have brought you Laura, and I hope she stays at your church because she's looking for a new church. But Laura is a relief worker, and she's the one that's bringing the semi-tractor trailer for you guys filled with cleaning supplies. It's like a cornucopia truck, we call it. It's got all the good stuff on it. So she's the one that's bringing that, and her story is amazing too. But we came up with the No Town Left Behind. Am I dirty? Yeah. The No Town Left Behind name, because as we were going through the towns with the boats and the Good Old Boys Brigade and everything, we would say, do you know somebody? Do you know somebody that needs us? Do you know somebody? Okay, we're going to leave no town behind. So you tell all those little towns, the people in the cracks, because that's who we serve most. I call them the shadow people, because they don't emerge from the wreckage until their arm's falling off. You know, they're afraid to get caught or whatever, I don't know what it is, but they're maybe not just accepted by society. So they come out of the shadows and we get to help them. But so things have progressed, you guys. I mean, it's kind of crazy, and I every single day I wake up and go, is this my life? Oh my gosh, this is my life. And it's insane, crazy good. It's really good. But I'm telling you all of this to tell you the next part, which is we have responded to 10 storms. And I say we because now, when I first met you guys, so my Good Old Boys Brigade, my good old gals and boys brigade, they stuck with me. I was actually, Laura doesn't know this part, but I was actually on my way home. So I actually went out to Hurricane Harvey, to Houston. I got to meet the people that I was working with, because as the trucks rolled through, we would create distribution points because it was the only dry spot. So we did what we're doing with you, just by accident, because out of necessity, it's what we had to do. So we're dropping these supplies, we're moving to the next one, and we relied on Good Old Boys Brigade to distribute the stuff out to the places that we couldn't get to. And it was a whirlwind, and I came, I saw, I loved, and I thought I was done. I went, whew, that was a crazy experience. I can't wait to go home and take a shower. And I'm in the airport heading home, and I get a call from Ken Mayo. And Ken Mayo worked with President Trump's team in Florida. And he said, these words I'll never forget, "We've been watching you, and we see how you're moving, and Irma has just hit. Would you please go to Irma and help out? Help in Irma." And I'm on a plane to go home. That's where I want to go. I'm tired. I ended up, here I am. 10 events later, this is my 10th one. I have learned so much, and we have met so many wonderful people. And what's going to happen after we leave your location is you guys are going to see us on the next one. After you're good and you're solid here, you're going to see us on the next one, and I guarantee Pastor's going to call and say, "Kimberly, what do you need?" Won't you? Yeah? You're recruited. We also need a chaplain. So I got my eyes on you. But our team has grown. We just picked up 2 new members yesterday. I'm hoping for a third over here, sitting over here. But what's happening is people are rising up. They're coming out of the woodwork to help. And they're qualified, wonderful, amazing people that have done such good things to help others. And even if it's something small, we have what I call share and prayer warriors on our social media, where their only job is to hit share. And that helps. Share and prayer warriors, prayers. We put the call out. Prayer warriors, get on it. So every single one of you, I bet you could be a prayer warrior, right? Okay, that's the very basic level. So what I want to do right now is I would love to, hi guys, welcome. What I would love to do right now is if you're interested in being a share or prayer warrior at the very basic level, just jumping in a tiny bit, raise your hand. We got some volunteers, folks. We got some, see how easy that was? That's the very basic level. So then if you can do that, and God gives you something else to do, you'll be maybe a little bit more comfortable to take the next step. And it's just amazing the way that things work out and the way that God gives you things as simple as, okay, there's a story behind these boots. So yesterday we were going out and we were checking out all the areas because we also now network with off-road groups, and because the Good Old Boys Brigade was so effective, we now have off-road vehicle clubs that are associated with the military, they're associated with the off-road forestry service, so we have the vehicles now that we need to get through. So we're with that group, and we're plowing through to go scout yesterday, and we look over, and there's a whole section demolished just as soon as you come over the bridge. What was that bridge that we just came over? Platte Bridge. And when you look to the right of Platte Bridge, and there's this little community right down there, right by the river, completely wiped out. And those poor people, they just remodeled their homes. 2 of them just remodeled. One of them's halfway done, one of them just finished, and they don't have flood insurance. They're going to need you. I saw him, I was taking pictures of the damage, and I looked down, and I see this guy just standing there literally, he's just staring. And so I said, "Stop the cars!" So we stopped the cars, and we tromped down the hillside, and I said, "Can we help you? I mean, what do you need? Is there something that we have a truck filled with supplies right now, right up there. Can we get you something?" He said, "I need cleaning supplies." I said, "Okay, we got buckets of cleaning supplies that you gave us." So I go tromping downstairs, and we got a whole bunch of these boots in. Did you guys see these boots when they came in? Okay, yeah. So we got a bunch of these boots in, and I'm from California, so I don't have anything cold gear, I don't have anything mud gear. I have flip-flops, and that's about it. So I said, I really, really need something for my feet when I get here. So just so happens that we have a box of boots. Great! I love boots, and I happen to love polka dots and black, and it goes with my sweatshirt. So God gave me some boots. Well, we have another team member coming in, and she needed a pair too, but she needed a size 9. And our team member accidentally picked up a size 10. So we had a size 10 there that we couldn't use, and my team member says, should we put it back? And I said, if God gives us anything, he's got a use for it. So let's keep it with us and see who needs it. And she's a new team member, so she hasn't seen all the miracles yet. So she's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but all right. So she puts the size 10 in the car, and Neil, the guy who was staring at he says, it would be so great if I could just have a pair of boots. And I said, what size are you? He's an 8.5 men's. We happen to have a size 10 boot in the truck. I go, they're polka dots. Do you care? He's like, I don't care. I'll put them on my feet. I said, they're going to get muddy anyway. So we were able to give him a pair of boots. It blows my mind. It blows my mind, and I'm going to fall over. I'm going to get my boot back on. So I decided after Hurricane Michael to walk away from my 30-year career in chiropractic. I haven't made a paycheck in a year and a half, and God has supplied our every need. We got an $8,000 tax refund. Who gets that? That we weren't expecting, which kind of got us through a little bit. But I just want you all to know that even the smallest part, even just being a little share prayer warrior, is doing a lot. These people need hope. They need you. 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 They need you to do something. Now, there are going to be the powers, the forces, the powers that be that come in and try to stop what we're doing. Because is this of God? Is this of God? It is. What's the opposing force there? We fight him on a daily basis. He stopped me from getting in here for 2 days by messing with my flights. We fight it every day, and we're on the front lines. And I got to say that we really believe in seeing the weather patterns and the way that things are changing and the way that things aren't making sense, and now it's okay to kill children after they're born. That's legal. Things are going haywire. Things are going haywire, and things are advancing to the point that I've never seen them in my lifetime. We had Chico, California, we had a tornado alert in Chico, California. What? They just got hit by fire. And now they've got a tornado, which we've never seen in I've lived there my whole life. I've never seen a tornado alert. In fact, I was happy about that. And now we have to worry about tornadoes in California. What does that tell you? Weather's changing. Times they are changing. We're going to have to band together as a Christian unit, as a Christian family, now more than ever before. This is our time. And I fully believe that I've been chosen, for whatever reason, I don't even know, to pull churches together and teach you guys how to do this effectively so that you can take what we've learned and serve your community through this really hard time. Because this is not going to be the last time that you guys get hit with something bad, is it? No. And you kids over there, oh my gosh, do you know how amazing your help would be in this situation? Let me tell you something that you can do. We were in Lumberton, Texas, and we helped a school and a family there in Lumberton, Texas. And that family, we stayed close after this, they saw us in Lumberton, North Carolina. And they called and said, we see you're in Lumberton, North Carolina. We want to do something cool. We want to do a Lumberton Loves Lumberton with our kids. So basically what the kids did is they adopted a friend in Lumberton, and they wrote words and letters of encouragement. And they got them pillowcases and toys and toothbrushes and all the stuff that would make them feel good. And then we were able to deliver those things to the kids in Lumberton, North Carolina. And I'll tell you, those notes, oh, my goodness. It's very impactful. Our words our love, our service, our hands, our actions. It's very powerful when people are going through this. And everybody plays a part. You kids can move boxes. You kids can write notes. You guys can ask around. Call your friends. Does anybody need anything? Does anybody need anything? We have a source. And the source is right up there. I mean, I knew I was in over my head when I was Googling how to give helicopter coordinates. And I'm still in over my head. But you know what? God finds a way. And I don't know how much time I have, but we're going to meet tomorrow. We are trying to get the water situation handled. But we actually have a water scientist that has stepped up and is going to come in. We're going to fly him in, and Pastor volunteered to pay for the flight, so God bless you for that, because we'll take it. You have a question, ma'am? Or are you just stretching? Okay. So we're going to get busy on that today, so we want to get him in here by tomorrow. But we're going to have a meeting with you guys in the morning so that we can figure out some of the details, because we actually have come up with a system. Remember in the beginning, I'm an organizer, I'm a systems person, and I have to say this too. Every bad situation that I ever went through, where God broke me and crushed me and allowed me to be pummeled into the earth, I literally, before all this happened, just went through a divorce in 2011. I lost my business. I lost my kids. I still got to see them, but not all the time. And I lost my house. I lost everything. I was literally crying in fetal position for 3 years because I was so sad and devastated. Lord, why? Why me? I was doing everything right. I was a worship leader. I was, what? Why me? How can this be? Why are you going to break me so badly? I'm hurt, Lord. I'm hurt. And you know what? If he wouldn't have broken me, Pastor, so pummeled me to the ground like that, I would never be sitting here today. Because I would have never walked away from everything that I had to do this for free. That's just crazy. Who does that? But I was in a place. He brought me to the place where he could raise me up. And now I'm sitting here in front of you, and I got to tell you, it's wonderful. Please help. Please do whatever you can do. We need you. So thank you very much for having me. I love you guys. No. To him.
Nice boots.
Yeah, you like my boots? You want a pair?